My apologies there. Voice me the banana shit the bed because I didn't restart my computer last night. Anyways, Too Many Warlocks.
Welcome back. It is Monday. Welcome once again to Too Many Warlocks. I, as always, am your benevolent Dungeon Master Puck, and I am here to play some Dungeons & Dragons with these fine individuals here. And they are in no particular order. One wood-clad like a fine 80s sedan, Mr. Richard Bennett. One, let's call it undead enthusiast, Mr. Peniton Wright. The person of a numerous family, Miss Kithri Tealeaf, who I'm going to keep all the reunions separate from now on. I'm going to limit the amount of tea leaves in any given situation. And also joining us is the amazing Guy Boutomps. When last we left our heroes, they had journeyed to Waterdeep, invitations in hand, from one Lord Xellos to a fancy party to unveil some new announcement. But upon arriving in the town, it was clear that something is rotten in the streets of Waterdeep.
It's all the bodies.
Yeah, it's the bodies are rotten. And there's just way too many murders going on. Way more than usual. Seemingly. Look, in a city this size, there's like
the curves like this.
Yeah, there's the acceptable levels. We're way beyond projected levels. So something unusual is happening. We're not sure what. So naturally, we had to go check in with Miss Kithri Tealeaf's family. And I attempted to voice every single one of them. Luckily, I had a cheat sheet. And we interacted with them and met them and saw that they were okay and they were doing all right. Our new animation is up.
Yeah, we got to see the new animation too.
Thank you so much, Mercy of Whims.
Thanks, Handy.
So we spoke with the Tea Leaf family and we went through all that and saw that they would be okay. And there were some private conversations had between Miss Kithri Tea Leaf and her brother Garrett. And the party went to go step out after this lovely evening to go to the estate that has been the guest house, as it's called, only to find themselves embroiled in yet another murder. And the ever keen eye of Kithri Tealeaf was able to figure out that this murder was perhaps staged to look sloppy, like some kind of vagrant robbery, when it was in fact very precise. And you were asked by the lead investigator for the City Watch to maybe assist him in figuring out the problem, because one Lady Silverhand would be very glad to see this all go away. And the party went to sleep in the guest house, all clambered in one room, I imagine in a single corner with weapons drawn. Except for Richard.
And I are having a sleep.
Oh no,
it was Guy. Guy went. Guy did not care. There's no worries on Guy's end.
Guy is performing sexual gymnastics as we speak.
Yes.
And I just want to add,
roll for acrobatics.
You did kind of slip right past one little thing in the Tea Leaf household.
Oh.
There was a large cat.
Oh yes.
A Kashano the Wild kind of cat.
Mr. Kashano the Wild was also there. I imagine he was just stopping by for stew. He's not a contentious figure. He's probably nobody you have to worry about. But yeah, that was there as well. Good thinking, Guy.
Guy's not going to forget him.
So
he's on the list.
we join that now in progress, and we'll say things have passed off into the morning now for you guys, unless you had anything else you wanted to do with the evening. No? All right. So the next day has dawned. It is a new morning in Waterdeep, and you guys have some time before the party this evening. Breakfast is made for you downstairs. The servants of the guest house have prepared everything for you. Some of them a little groggy, not getting a full night's rest after their excursion with Guy.
Just one butler, one maid. It's not.
Yeah, well, look.
Didn't bring the house down. Well, I mean, we tried, but
house. How many how many staff do you think work here? I'm going to say there's maybe 4. So you took half the staff. All right. So yeah, morning has dawned. So did Richard, Kithri, Penn, did you guys all stay together or?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the night. All right. So a bell rings downstairs. They say breakfast is served.
Well, we made it through the night. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Is it?
you guys all share a room, eh?
Where's Guy?
I'm back for breakfast now.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
In a burgundy velour robe,
It says,
black satin
it says
lapels.
Xellos Enterprises on it.
Do you have a good night there?
Oh, but of course, eh? They are all good nights. Just some of them are better than others. Eh?
And did they have a good night? I'd like to say is, I imagine they're walking past.
Yeah, there's clearly a split between the well-rested house servants and then the house servants who are groggy, a little disheveled. Some of them a look of wide-eyed terror.
Ta-da! No, once we are done breakfast, we should go for a nice walk, eh?
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to go for repeats? Or seconds?
I have a list of things to do today. I don't have time for that.
I want one conversation, and then I don't care what we do till the party. But, well, maybe I do. Maybe there's one thing we can do before then, eh? But not here.
Well, speaking of conversation, so I have maybe a bit of a favor to ask. It got raised that maybe, with all the murders and stuff like that, this is not the safest place for my family to be. So I may have kind of offered to my to Garrett, who's my older brother, that my family could come stay at the keep for a little bit. Like, clearly they will leave before Blackwind comes, and hey, then that way they can meet William, and then when they leave, William can go with them, and they can meet Melissa, so Melissa knows where William is, and all of these things. And does that sound okay?
That sounds brilliant, eh? That's a smart idea, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, Penn don't think so.
I don't have a problem with them coming in the general sense. It's the timeline we're on right now. I'm more afraid, I believe Blackwind will come when he says he's going to come, but other people seem to believe that might not be the case. And I don't want your family to be, so to say, out of the frying pan into the fire.
But any sign of trouble, we're okay, thanks for coming, head back home.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we re-have this conversation after we go for our little walk, eh?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I pull that little piece of paper that Officer Hobbs gave me out of my pocket and just kind of show them and then tuck it back in, just to remind them.
Well, and Penn, you wanted to do some shopping, right?
Mm-hmm. I really want to do some shopping while I'm out there.
It's a pretty gourmet breakfast. This is some high-class stuff that they brought out here.
Ah. Only the best shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's fresh fruits brought in from Dinosaur Town. the southern tropic.
Chult, right?
Chult. There we go,
Yeah.
Chult. flanking.
Dinosaur Town, I'm
Yeah,
thinking Feywild, because
Yeah, yeah.
Tyrannosauruses live there.
I was really hoping there was a place in this world called Dinosaur.
there very well could be. You could found it.
And
Okay.
they probably got Dinosaur Town of the Dead, too.
Oh.
That's too much.
That's
We found his limit. We found his limit.
I've seen Jurassic Park. I'm no fool.
Yeah, but you just need to do the skeletons.
Yeah.
Who says you have to do anything aside the skeletons?
All right. So, what are your plans for the day?
Guess
Nothing?
Guy's leading us somewhere to talk.
We
and
can
then,
talk
yes,
anywhere, eh?
Yeah, who is the conversation you're wanting to have with?
The three of you,
Oh, cool.
and not the 12 of them. And I point around the room
There's only 4,
There's only
that
4.
we can see. Eh?
and you've already shared quite a lot with the 2 of them. So,
That's a completely different kind of information, though, eh?
fair enough. Where are we on this map, Captain
You
Buck?
are. Let me pull up the map and show you. Because this is the same guest house where the other party stayed. There it is.
If Kashano was here, carved into the head.
Yeah,
of
yeah. Ah,
They cleaned
the
it.
guest house is roughly in this area here.
Oh, the market's right up the way. I'm assuming the market's where, like, every kind of, well, marketable thing would be.
Yes, this is the kind of upper crust market. There are other smaller markets kind of throughout in whatever open zones you can find throughout the city. But with this being the castle ward, this is kind of the main market. This is the shopping mall of the city.
Also, just for note, before we left, I would have put on my nice clothes before we left because I want to be ready to go for. I have mending. If I get it scuffed, I'll fix it.
You don't want to be stuck shopping and be, oh, we got 5 minutes to get there and I haven't changed in my outfit.
Well, it's also plans for my shopping, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll dress nicely too.
I am just going to wear my normal fancy clothes,
Yep.
not my like big billowing dress.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I look good all the time. I don't worry about this.
Like, that must be
Key 3, this market we are going to, that's the one your family perform at? Eh?
One of the ones, yeah.
Oh, cool. Maybe we see them today, eh?
Maybe.
You know, that's the worst smile I ever seen in my whole life. That is like the fake smile. It look like a piece of paper stuck to your face, eh? Why are you embarrassed by them? They are amazing people.
I don't know. They're weird.
Well, they didn't
Weird?
steal any of my
You want to meet
stuff.
weird? I take you to my hometown one day. Not like this, not look like this, but one day I take my whole town is weird, eh?
Would you like me to introduce you to my parents? It's a lovely patch of soil somewhere, and a bunch of rocks piled up. Pretty sure that's where they are.
Yeah, I guess in this group I am kind of the normal childhood one. I don't know, Penn?
I need to call Mom. I can do that, and I
You
forgot.
contacted Blackwind with your sending before you called your mom.
You're never gonna hear the end of it.
No,
You are the worst son.
Listen, it's been. Wait a minute, none of you know.
hey, it's been 2 years. You never call. You weren't near a stone.
you never write.
I need to call my mother at some point, but also I don't know if it would be safe, so I need to be careful. But we could get to that because today's, I'll do that later tonight. But anyway, I assume, do we walk to the market? Is it walking distance?
You can take the cart. The roads are wide enough here that you can take your cart. And a benefit of your guys' kind of magical cart is in its stealth mode, it can kind of compress its size to be street worthy.
Ooh,
It's like the night bus.
nice. I guess if we're taking that, then that would prompt a conversation with Guy, because what did you need to... What's up with your
Pull
paper?
out the piece of paper again. And I said, this is why you are nice to the police, eh? Otherwise, there's no reason to be. But sometime You know, they don't get paid very well, so they give you information in exchange for money. And look, he says if we want to solve this problem locally, not official, but you know, he suggests we go to the Yawning Portal and look for 12 daggers, whatever that means.
So we have to find 12 loosely discarded daggers.
I was
Cool.
gonna
It's
say
a bar. There's probably one stuck
Fetch
in every
quest.
table, eh? It's
But
the
I know
Yawning
what-
Portal.
I know what the 12
I was
daggers
gonna
reference is.
say,
Give
can
me
we
a
do-
roll for that.
What would it be? Because I wanted to know too.
Would it
I'm
be
really
Probably
hoping.
water deep history.
Yeah, history would work.
Pretty specific.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you go.
Oh, check you out with the moves. All right, so you know that the 12 daggers is kind of a morally gray adventuring company that operates throughout the Sword Coast. They have quite a few members, but they are operated primarily by 12 chairs or heads, people who run groups. So there's 12 groups always operating in the area.
Just to be, aren't we kind of morally gray? I mean, I
Well-
almost killed a child at one point.
However you guys want to describe yourselves, you know, I'm not here to judge.
Hey, we're super.
Oh no,
good.
I'm asking the group.
I think we just have chaotic morals.
I think we're super good, and we just make questionable decisions sometimes.
Yeah,
Or we
gray.
Well,
I don't talk about things I have no understanding of. Kithri, you know these people? Huh? These 12 daggers?
I've heard of them, not really dealt with them directly, but at least we know, you know, who we're looking for and not what we're looking for.
Yeah, they're kind of known for dancing back and forth across that line of mercenary operation to adventuring group.
would we know
The,
why we
the
do?
officer last night, he said he thinks they are probably the tool that is being used. Eh? So maybe we stop the tool and maybe nobody has to leave Waterdeep. Eh?
And they did say there were 3 adventuring groups that were key suspects. So
Yeah, I guess I don't give him enough money. He only gave me one. Eh?
Would we know
or
why
3 of the groups are.
he would have suggested the Yawning Portal?
You Kithri can tell you that the Yawning Portal is kind of a favorite watering hole for adventuring groups that come to Waterdeep. It is the Rainforest Cafe of Waterdeep. Like if you're in Waterdeep, you pretty much have to go there. Like,
I love the Rainforest Cafe.
It's famous all over the place. Eh?
yeah.
My
There's a
grandpa
bloody great
Aaron-
hole.
Yeah, my grandpa Aaron would always go there to learn new great stories to tell.
And if they don't like your story, they throw you in the hole. Eh? And look at Richard and he goes, go straight to the 100 Ark. Eh?
Ooh,
G, have you ever had a tree grow from your stomach into your outsides?
Not in the last 6 months. Eh?
No.
all right. Look, we're here.
So, where are you traveling to?
The market, I guess.
Okay.
Just looking for a really nice magic shop.
So you've traveled to the market, and there are a lot of different stalls set up. A lot of different. There are a collection of both, permanent standing stores and temporary stalls set up from traveling merchants all over the place.
Oh boy.
Well, what are you looking for?
Well, primarily another one of these would be nice, and I kind of gestured up the staff on my back. Something, just to give us a little more firepower, or I'd actually like something that can do a little more ice if they have it, but either that or something like what Guy seems to have on his finger over there with that.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
That's where the ring is, actually.
So, go ahead and do an investigate for me to track down what you're looking for.
Do I want to use that now? I don't know how it works yet. I'm really tempted to pull that compass out, but I don't know if that's like a destiny compass and only works for certain things. Let's see. You said perception or investigate?
Investigate.
Oh, even better.
Can I
Oh yeah, you can definitely assist him.
I don't think you need to, though.
You might be all right. So you go looking around, just kind of rooting through this market to try and find something. And first thing that you notice is all of the physical standing stores are sold out of magical items. However, the stalls with the traveling merchants have a couple of magical items each. But it's sporadic. It's kind of spotty throughout. So if you're looking for something frosty, well, they don't have the Staff of Frost, I'm afraid. But you do notice that there is a gentleman there who has a number of different ice-based items, but he just doesn't have a Staff of Frost. So if you like, that may be somebody that you can ask about that kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, well, you guys are out. Get me something nice. I'm going to stay here with the horse.
All right.
Okay. I guess I'll ask. I guess I will ask that gentleman because that's what I'm looking for, essentially.
Right.
So I guess I'll approach that stall.
All right. So you approach that stall, and there is a particular gentleman operating it. Hello, sir. How can I help you?
Hi. I see you have a number of ice-based magical items.
Yes. I was lucky enough to come across a group of people who had raided an old kingdom of frost giants. And they came across a number of these wonderful items there. They were chased away, though. It was unfortunate. Apparently, one of the old hounds, that's the frost giants used to have, is still taking up residency there and had chased them away before they were able to access the main horde. But we were able to come back with a couple items.
Oh, well, that's interesting. What? And I'm gonna look and see just what he's got, because I want to know where that is. But I think if I actually play this interest game, I might get a little more info out of him.
He's got a couple different things. He's got a wand that'll do Ray of Frost. He's got some boots of frost protection, like big hardy boots that got spikes on them so you don't slip.
And I'll just pretend to be looking at one of them, and I'll be like, "This is fascinating. You said a frost giant kingdom. I haven't heard of one of those in the."
Oh, not a kingdom. It was like a fort or a fortress of theirs.
Huh.
One of their forward bases. I believe it dates back to the Dragon Wars.
Oh, now that is interesting. What region was this in? I as someone who's very interested in frost giant culture, I'm a scholar, as you could probably tell. I'd love to know and just be able to do some research on that area.
Oh, that would have been up in the mountains. Would have been between the Eye of the Allfather and the Great Worm Cavern. There was a small river running through, and they found it up in there.
All right. And river. All right. Well, I will have to think this over, but I definitely am interested in some of these goods. I may come back and return after I peruse a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Thank you. And then I'll walk away with the others unless they were looking at anything.
Is anyone else looking for anything else?
I'm looking to pick up powdered silver and iron.
Powdered silver and iron? Yeah, there's a couple different people selling kind of reagents and items such as those.
Oh,
So it's fairly easy to come across here.
okay. Hi, I'd like to purchase 100 gold worth of powdered silver and iron, please.
Very well. And he puts up. So 50-50 or 100 each.
Why don't we do 100 each?
Very well. And he roots through and he puts up 2 big bags of the stuff.
All right. I'll hand over the money and put the stuff in the bag of holding.
Very well. Done.
That's
Anything else?
Of
Did I feel anything when I pulled the money out of the bag of holding?
Oh yeah, you did. Almost forgot. Almost forgot the message. Oh my goodness, you did, and it is a message which I will send to you in a moment.
While he's doing that, I would have watched this and be like, "That's a lot of reagents. Why do you need that much, if I may ask?"
I just got a sense that there's something I can do, but it needs this stuff. So,
Okay.
keep us safe. Keep undead things out if we want to keep undead things out, or other kinds of things.
Oh, you mean like that sounds like? Actually, I think I would know what that is, but I don't know if I know what that is because it sounds like a magic circle, but I don't remember.
Chat is guessing that's protection from good and evil.
It
Oh,
is
man.
magic circle.
Aha!
Could be.
Oh man! I guess while we're also talking, if I couldn't have found that, I would have been looking for a pearl of power if they have that, because I think that's somewhat common. I don't know. It's uncommon.
A pearl of power. It's somewhat uncommon, that one.
Oof.
That's a little bit more difficult to track down.
Are you sending the note over Discord?
I'm gonna put it together and
Okay.
give it to you in a handout.
Cool.
Give me one moment. All right. So, is there anything else you guys need to do, or?
I'm looking for the tea leaves if I can see them performing. If not, any street performer will do, but I would really prefer to find them.
All right. Take a look around.
Investigation?
Yeah.
Or perception?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Because you're gonna like ask people, hey, the tea leaves performing. Hey, it's what's going on.
We'll just get that out of the system right early.
You can't find it. Can't find
I
it.
said the tea leaf name and somebody slapped me.
Yeah. No way, man.
I find some performer, and I'm just that super fan. The one that like when they ask for volunteers, I'm the first one to jump in and just I'm just really, really excited by it all.
I see.
I try and juggle. I don't know how to juggle it.
So it's all bad news.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to
All
help,
right.
and it's going poorly.
I see.
Is there anything else we need? Because Guy and Richard are gone, so I guess I'm just talking to Kithri at this point while she's putting that in her bag. Of just like, is there anything else you could think we need? This was a little more bare boned than I would have hoped.
Yeah, I kind of wonder why all of the shops are. I'm gonna go into one of the shops. If it's
All right. Sure.
Like,
It is open. He has a number of manufactured goods and the occasional spell scroll, but he does have signs on a number of shelves saying all magical items are sold out.
Spell scrolls.
Oh, I was hoping to purchase some magical items. I know your shop is always so reliable. What's the deal?
Oh, yeah. It's a funny thing about that is some guy in glasses has been going around shop to shop buying up everybody's stock.
Huh?
Oh boy.
Trying to maybe trying to get a corner on the market.
Yeah, maybe. He's got a lot of coin, that's for sure.
What? I see you have a few spell scrolls there. Do you happen to have any, say, exorcism scrolls?
Exorcism scrolls. Now you're gonna have to go to the temple.
The temple of who?
Any of them, really. It depends on who you want to use.
Yeah.
Okay, Kithri, the reply should be in your journal now.
Woo! I will just kind of look at it and like tuck it into a pocket to read later.
And I just kind of am walking out the door after having that, and I'm just like saying to myself, man, Waterdeep is really not fun.
He walks up wearing a hat that says, "My parents went to Waterdeep and all I got was this stupid hat."
Are you wearing that to the party?
No, I don't think so. Don't go with the outfit.
So once we are out on the street, I'm gonna like fold open the note and oh no.
Howdy.
I've lost the Richard.
Oh.
And just be kind of sitting there reading this note.
All right. So, are you gonna share with the group, or are you just gonna read it?
I am just reading it for now.
All right.
Do you guys share with Guy, who bought up all the magic stuff?
I guess while she's reading, I'll mention it just because, it's kind of what I figured was going on. So the shops are sold out, presumably because Owen Stone has been purchasing everything. I'll give you 3 guesses as to probably what for.
I don't need 3 guesses. He's a shit stick. That's all I need to know, eh?
I assume he's either arming the grand creation he's going to show everyone tonight, or he's doing it so that people won't be able to defend themselves against whatever's roaming in the night. I'm not sure, but it's not good either way.
Well, we go to the party tonight. We see what happens, eh?
Yeah. Oh, I do have a lead, though, on where we might be able to cash in on a frost giant horde eventually. We will have to, fight a hound or something. I'm sure it's nothing.
We don't really got time for side quests at this point,
I'm
eh?
sure it's fine.
I'm just putting it on the, whenever.
All right.
So how this giant dog and this forest frost giant thing, how it's connected with the dead, eh?
The dead?
Well, I just assume you are interested. It must be the dead, eh?
I have other hobbies than the undead, Guy so I'm a scholar. There are
The
many.
dying and the dead. These the only 2 I know, eh?
I like ice. I use Armor of Agathis, and I mean, let's be honest.
And what do you do to people while you are using the heist and the hammer of the Hagathis?
I kill them?
Bingo, eh?
Hey, that's not always true. It's just most.
Sometimes you miss. Ah!
Plus, if I ever do get into necromancy, keeping bodies cold is kind of important. So, it's on brand.
So Kashano sent us a letter.
Is it good?
That's a silly question
It's
coming from
informative.
Kashano, eh?
Maybe I can wait to fill you all in till we get back to Richard.
When we get back in the cart, maybe it's safer in there, eh?
Okay. Is everyone satisfied? Was there anything else? The only other place I wanted to look for was like a training hall while we were here. But if we have time, how much time have we burned up this morning?
You've burned into about the afternoon. It was fairly early when they awoke you with breakfast here. Richard has slipped into a fey trance back at the cart.
Okay.
So when I look at Penn, is he doing that like addict looking at a pile of crack thing as he keeps looking in the direction of the city of the dead?
I don't think so, because right now I've got other focuses and it's not night. So like it kind of loses its appeal as much during the day.
Who wants
The
to
dead
go
aren't as
in the
much fun
daytime?
when you can see them. It's
wants
better
to
when they
go
sneak
when
up out of the
everybody-
darkness at you.
Who wants to go when everybody else can go?
Oh my goodness.
No, I'd still go. I'm just, yeah, it's not as interesting per se. I'm looking, yeah. So I guess we're going back to the cart so we could hear what Kithri has to say, and then I might look for a training hall if we have time.
Very well. Absolutely. Go back to the cart. Somebody else is going to have to drive while he's, mind surfing the Fey realm.
But he got a saw. We cut him up into small pieces and put him in the back.
I guess I'll drive. Please don't let Guy cut
Well,
him up.
before you start driving, let me catch you up on what Team Mom has been up to.
Why don't you just, I can hear you up here.
Oh, right. That thing.
Okay.
Okay. So they're not dead. They seem excited about the ritual spell I sent them for the bards. Apparently, they've decided they can't allow Blackwind to attack the keep, so they're going to hit him where he sleeps and lives and prepares. They apparently know where that is. I don't know where that is. Maybe that would have been useful information.
Nice if they put that in the notes.
They've got the favor of a queen in a distant kingdom. So that's potentially interesting. We'll have to ask them what kingdom. And a boatload of clerics is going to come help with Blackwind. So hey, more help. Apparently, he's got a special sword that he can thrust into Blackwind's heart to end his lichhood and potentially restore Cookie's life. We get our own choice to stay or protect the keep. Gilbetta won a dinosaur race, so maybe that explains the dinosaurs. Redan unseated a pit fighting champion, so they're still having fun.
I don't know how useful those two things are to fighting Blackwind, but for sure, eh? Everybody need the weekend off.
Sounds like they made quite a lot of gold, and said that on our next payday we can skip the academy share. So, hey Penn, you can shop more.
Yeah, if we ever make any money.
So, let me get this straight. We have gathered dragons, cleric, paladin, werewolf. All these things we have gathered
Well, in the spell I
to
sent
fight
them,
Blackwind, and these 4 think they are going by themselves to kill him.
None of that sounds good to me. None of that sounded
It
good
sounds
at
like
all.
a very bad decision to me, eh?
they did say that they're stopping in Waterdeep before the keep, so maybe we can try and meet up.
I'd highly suggest so, because I don't want to have to go find him on our own.
I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure if they go and do this and they get wiped out, I don't want anybody at the keep to have to fight the dead them. Can you imagine?
We still
Mom
have...
walks through the front door all dead and shit. Who's going to fight them? The goblins are going to say, hey, it's Mom, hey. Empty one, let them in.
We need to write them back. Like, we have to discuss this. They can't go moving on their own. That's absurd. Like, why would they even... That doesn't make sense. That's so illogical. To go...
You gather a army and then try and kill him by yourself? That makes no sense, eh?
We had a chance, but that chance is gone. We weren't ready for it.
It was never a chance, eh? It only looked like one.
Regardless, though, it's just that is foolish. When we get back, we need to write a letter to them and make sure they understand that, like, we all need to convene. This is a matter of the keep, not a matter of them or us.
Well, it sounds like they're on their way to Waterdeep, so
But will we be in Waterdeep still? We still need to go get that shield whenever we have the opportunity to.
Either way, we are only going to beat this bastard if we work as a team, eh? All together as a team with all the things we have worked so hard to gather.
Doesn't make sense to waste the resources we've gathered.
I still want... I haven't even gotten a chance to discuss the things that we've seen and learned in the meantime. I don't believe this is the best option, and I still believe that there might be another way, but I have to be able to talk to them first before I can even convince them of that.
Well, you all know my plan, eh? Lure him in the tower, trap him there, put him in the phylactery, take him to the final scribe, done.
Well, that's the weird thing, right? If we put the phylactery in the safe chamber in the keep and we kill him outside of the keep, he will go into his phylactery. That's the whole thing about being a lich, and then he'll just be in there.
And the phylactery don't get out of the tower for nothing as long as Empty One is alive, eh?
If this sword Kashano is talking about does what it does, then that would reverse everything and he'd be gone. We wouldn't even have him around anymore, I don't think. Reversing his lichdom would...
You said the sword has to stab him in the heart? We even know this guy's got a heart?
I mean, presumably, even a lich still has the anatomy.
And the task was
Of what,
given
though?
to
He
Kishana
absorbed...
by a god, so I think, he might have accurate information.
I mean, we can hope, eh? I don't want to put all my egg in one basket, eh? Even my plan, I want somebody else to have plans too, eh? We have 3 or 4 plans, one of them works, eh?
I just don't want the first one to be the one that will definitely kill him. I want an opportunity, so I'd prefer to, not put something through someone's heart which will reverse the thing that will keep them from dying, which will then in turn kill them.
I told you, you got 30 seconds as far as I am concerned. Maybe we have to keep Richard out of the room for that 30 seconds, but...
But again, that means this plan can't go through, what they're planning to do.
Can't go through, that's funny. You ever tried to talk Kashano out of anything, eh? I can't even talk him into changing seats at the bar, eh?
So I imagine you guys are taking the cart to the yawning portal while you're having this conversation?
I assume so, yeah. We surprised the hell out of Penn with that, though.
I was like, that's not what I was doing, so I feel
He's like
really
at the
bad
guest
about
house.
Yeah, he's driving, so you tell us where we're going.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was just aimlessly looking for a training hall. I'm sorry, I didn't.
What manner of training hall? What skill are you looking to learn?
I'm looking to go ask someone, hey, so maybe somewhere with like, this is going to sound weird, but like halflings or like dwarves, like specifically somewhere where you could be like, hey, I'm smaller and I want to use a shield, but not with brute strength. Do you have a technique for that? Like, and honestly, I'm not looking to learn it in one day. I'm looking to get the information or where to find the information to learn such a skill.
It occurs to you that both the yawning portal and a place where somebody might be able to teach you to learn a shield are the same place.
Hey, that's my DM.
That's the yawning portal. What do you need? Go there. Don't matter.
Yeah. So, the yawning portal, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is operated by a group of retired adventurers who there's this main structure in front of it. Almost looks like a well right now in the center of the room inside of it. And what it is it is actually the top of an old wizard's tower that sank into the earth, and at the bottom of it was an elaborate dungeon. and they had conquered the dungeon and built the tavern over top of it. And there's a kind of bucket and pulley system where you can be lowered down into it.
I just assumed with Guy's drinking past that this is a site of legend and lore that he has known about since he was old enough to drink, as I assume.
Oh yeah,
That works, yeah.
so you get into it and things. It's a fairly popular place, so everyone is having some drinks. There's a lot of people in there.
And I guess as we get out, Richard's still trancing in the back.
Yeah, somebody's getting lowered into the yawning portal as you walk in.
Interesting.
What did he do? I asked the guy who's lowering him.
He wanted to go in. His friends bet him a couple coins.
Look down the big black hole.
Yeah.
Maybe one more drink, eh? And I order a couple, order around.
All right.
What an odd place.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
All
there's a lot of people scattered throughout. There are some private rooms, but like a private room is like a stick structure with some curtains.
Okay, well, Mr. Investigator, this is your kind of scene.
Oh yeah. Just buy 2 jugs.
Okay.
2 jugs of beer and just start walking around at the tables and chatting with people.
All right.
So who's the regular, eh? Who's the guy who's here every day? Just ask the bartender as he's filling up the beers.
Oh, he's filling every day. A lot of folks are in and out if they're getting work, but well, there's a dwarf over in the corner. He hasn't got work in a long time. He's been here for every day for the last 4 days, really.
And I lean in close and say, he is, I don't want to step on no toes, eh? He's affiliated with anyone, eh?
Yeah, I think he's part of an adventuring group. I've seen him in here giving orders to a party before, but I don't know where they are.
Thank you very much, eh?
We're looking for anybody with the 12 daggers.
Oh. Yeah, I think that might have been it. You should maybe ask the guy.
That's a little less subtle than I was going to be, but sure, for sure, we got the information, so yeah.
Kithri
It's
ain't
your
got time
town,
for
you
this.
do it
She's
your
gonna
way.
tell
Eh? This is your town, eh? You understand these people, eh?
No, absolutely.
And I guess as they either walk off or move to the side, I walk up and I'm like, I'd like a glass of milk, please. And also, is there anyone here that's really good with the shield? You know, maybe.
Bartender just kind of like points around and you see half a dozen guys kind of like, clad in half plate or full plate with shields resting beside their tables.
Not like people like me, like, diminutive in stature.
He slides your milk over to you.
How much is a milk? And I'll put a gold on the counter.
Okay.
Take my milk, walk off with it.
I need somebody who's a wimp to teach me.
Okay, because I had my image in my head of him milking a goat into a glass.
Right in front of him. This is
On
how
the
you know it's
bar.
fresh.
Yeah, right on the bar. Body temperature milk.
Gotta love it. All right.
So we go talk to this guy in the corner, eh?
Yeah.
I think maybe we pretend we want to hire them and ask for references.
That's one way, or
Yeah, when I say it out loud, it sounds stupid. You have another way?
maybe just like, say, coming up and chatting and being like, oh, you look like a friendly fellow, and then find some way to subtly drop, oh, so I've heard about all these murders in the area. See how he reacts to that.
Okay. How about maybe you do the talking? You're sort of less flamboyant than me, and maybe I do the watching.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with that. Penn, you got your milk?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really good. I'm just drinking. The people,
Yeah,
the people here are not helpful. From what I've seen, I don't think anyone in this entire town is helpful. Or
Well,
city, sorry.
Well,
City.
to be honest, you walk into the yawning portal and order a milk.
This place is a huge disappointment. I was expecting friendlier country folk.
No one knows how to teach me how to use a shield. Maybe I could talk to him about that. He's a dwarf, but they're usually pretty strong. I don't know. That seems like I'm making assumptions about people based on their race. So maybe.
You want to do all of this for a shield we don't even got?
We need it, theoretically.
Why?
Because it's an anti-undead thing. And that's important.
It's a shield that make light. We don't know it does anything else.
We know the paladin said it had properties similar to their artifact, their relic thing in the sky. That doesn't make any sense, by the way. I need to read up on that because why is that there and how is it hovering? Anyway,
It's magic. Eh?
I mean, yeah.
So back to talking to this.
Yes, for sure. The dwarf in the corner.
I'm going to stroll over. And,
I don't say a word. I just put both jugs down in front of him.
All right. Well, you know how to start a conversation.
Yeah, it's I grew up in Waterdeep, but haven't been here in a while, and you look like maybe you wouldn't mind some company.
Well, I'm not much for company, to be honest, but I do enjoy the drink. And he grabs one of the jugs and starts pouring one for himself. So if there's no choice between the two, I'll take both. So what can I do for you? My name's Calback, Stoneslinger, by the way.
I'll shake his hand because everybody else is writing notes.
Yeah, I am the seventh dagger.
I've heard great things about the daggers.
In that
Well-
case, and I put 5 gold on the counter beside the beer.
Oh. Usually we don't get paid till after the job's done, but thanks.
I'm
Yeah.
Kithri Tea Leaf.
Nice to meet you. So if you're looking to the 12 daggers have had an excellent first quarter. We've made really big gains in a lot of markets. We're expanding eastward. We're getting some desert operations on the go. So just so you know, we're an on the level company. We just don't have a lot of qualms about the kind of work we take.
Money is money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've done some jobs interesting jobs here and there.
Oh, so you are
Questionable.
contractors as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you looking for a referral, a partnership? What are we doing here?
Just kind of getting an idea of what's going on in the city. I mean, I've heard about the murders. Is there any kind of contract work you've heard of with that?
And he kind of gets up and like closes the curtains all around. Okay. Maybe don't talk about that so loud, is what I'm going to suggest.
Okay. Why?
Because everything has ears.
Ah.
I'm looking at the wall.
I will talk to him with awakened mind and say, so, do you know anything about these murders?
He replies through awakened mind. He says, "Oh, this is much better."
Ah.
Yes. So my team, which had to be dispatched out of the city, I might add, and I say this in strict confidentiality, as a fellow business person, put a huge damper on Q4 for us, with them having to leave the city. I'm understaffed, but the bigger reason that they had to leave the city is that we were noticing that a number of the people being killed were former clients of ours.
And I'm assuming that you weren't doing the killing, so maybe somebody trying to set you up.
Definitely someone. We had tabled the idea of robbing our clients after the jobs were done, but it turned out to be a very short-term business plan. There wasn't a lot of room for expansion.
Not going to get good recommendation that way.
In the end, it was vetoed by the board, 6-4, but they clinched it. So
What did the other two do?
To abstain.
Oh, I guess I technically. Did you include me in the conversation, Kithri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two abstained.
So what you're saying is you're not government employees?
Not in any official capacity, certainly not. But if you're familiar with the way things work in the city, official decisions as far as whether or not to hire independent contractors, such as ourselves, are generally kept out of the public eye. These kinds of things happen behind the closed doors.
So how open is your organization? In other words, if like number 9 group, if they are hired by somebody, do you know?
It would show up on the quarterly reports. There would be like a job number, and the amount paid. But they're not allowed to operate in my district. That's part of the contracts.
Ah. So your district include what part of the city?
The city. My district is the city.
So I'm assuming you would like to see an end to these murders, so you can...
I would like that very much, yes.
Well, I also, looking for an end to murders, have some folks that live in the city that I don't want to have to worry about.
I would like to be able to bring my employees back and have them no longer arrested under suspicion of murder.
So you don't have anyone operating in the city right now?
No, I've had to forcefully get them to cash in all of their vacation days.
How competent are your men at what they do?
We are a legitimate organization, and we always put our best foot forward in whichever task that we take on.
Well, there can't be that many group in this town who are capable of doing this thing, eh? I mean, right away we thought of you because you guys are like the most famous and best known ones, eh? But in your line of business, you must...
He's a little surprised by that. Really? I mean, yes, of course we are.
Well,
pat her back. But in your position, you must know anybody else who's even remotely competent. Eh? Somebody else with a group who could do this?
There are a number of groups. But, and this is just the word I've heard around, other groups are having their clients killed as well.
So it's adventurers, clients.
Well, that kind of limit the number of people who are doing it. Eh? There's only so many people who have the power to do that to an organization as strong as yours. Eh?
Any ideas on who might be behind all of this?
I have theories. I have accusations that I could throw around. A little light on evidence. I don't have any of that. But I could do the other two things. It could be the Zents. It could be the Rogues Order Black Hand.
How do you measure up against them anyway?
Well, I only have the one team. They're a criminal organization. I'm not sure what their personnel levels are like. They're quite substantial. They're not as well trained, certainly, as the kind of people that we employ. But they do have some number. The Black Hand, the Zents, I don't want to talk about the Zents.
I understand that for sure. Eh? But so what you're saying is this is bigger than say most people expected. It maybe goes higher than most people expected.
I don't know. I don't know how big or how high it goes. I will tell you, the people that we worked for that were killed, they owed money.
To who?
I don't know exactly, but they had debts. And they had employed us to find things to help them clear up those debts.
So their debt don't get paid, and their debt get called in another way.
Maybe. We were successful.
How you gather money from dead people? I don't get it.
Oh no. Just to Penn and Guy.
This is like, hold, please.
Yeah.
What if those people are souls in the
Oh,
wood metal
fuck.
guys?
But
You pay your... Wow. You pay your bills with your soul, eh?
but wouldn't we have? I didn't spend enough time with the body. I don't even know if I would have known. Oh boy.
You have been a very great help, sir.
It is a pleasure to be of service. Definitely think of the 12 Daggers wherever you go, because we are a reputable adventuring organization, and we will do our best to achieve satisfactory results for all of our clients.
I think you are exactly the kind of person we like to get to know, eh? But we're a little busy right now.
Of course. Very busy. Q3 is just around the corner, and we've all got to get those numbers in.
Sure thing, eh? Yeah, like Kithri said a minute ago, you would be, how you say, very happy if this problem gets solved. Eh?
I would be very pleased. Yes.
Maybe even like a favor kind of pleased.
I could perhaps owe a favor.
Well, that's all for me. You too?
I'm gonna finish my glass of milk, just like finish it and put it on the table and be like, and I have a milk mustache,
Yes.
but I'm still curious. And I'm like, can you teach me how to use a shield, please?
Okay.
Maybe not
You-
right now.
It has a. If you
No,
turn the
listen.
shield over.
Listen, please wait. I know how to use a shield. I was hoping because you had all these specially trained people. I'm not. Look at this. Look, I'm not. You see this? There. I'm a caster. I cast.
Okay.
things.
Do you carry like a backpack?
Yes.
If you were to say strap something else on your back, shield like, instead of the backpack of equal weight, could you then carry it that way?
On my back.
Yes.
You're saying the shield instead of a backpack.
Yes.
Yes, but would I be able to use it?
If you take the turtle pose, you would in fact be using it. I had a friend, his name was Chattering Charlie, and he was always afraid of being stabbed in the back. He wore that shield everywhere, and nobody ever stabbed him in the back. The purpose of a shield is to prevent an attack, whether you are holding it or, say, wearing it on your back like a turtle.
Point of order. Had a
Yeah,
friend?
He don't get stabbed in the back, but you didn't say he don't get stabbed. Eh?
He didn't follow proper safety procedure during a job, and as such, there was a workplace accident.
I know all about that. Important to safe workplace environments.
Exactly.
Especially in our line of business. Eh?
Absolutely. There are strict codes. There is a handbook. You have to read it. These are things that need to be done.
I decided I do have one more thing. Eh? You want to be seen very legitimate, eh?
Yes, we are very legitimate.
Well, for sure, right? Maybe after this workout, we work out a little plan to make you even more legitimate, eh? Maybe a permanent contract sort of thing, eh? Here in Waterdeep, eh?
We are always interested in negotiations. As one of the 12, I am more than happy to act as a go-between with the rest of the council.
Because we are considering opening a branch here of an organization which currently shall remain nameless for obvious reason, eh? But yeah,
Well,
maybe we look you up, eh?
Certainly, we don't abide competitors. But if you are considering perhaps a joint venture or a partnership, that is a different story.
I was actually considering hiring you, but you know,
Absolutely.
Are-
That is something we'd be interested in as well.
Under contract, are your methods flexible? Say we said, we will hire you with the understanding that you don't do X, don't do Y, don't do Z. Is that, something you're capable of?
If we have those stipulations in writing ahead of time, we will certainly consider them.
it's a contract, eh? You follow the term of the contract or you don't get paid. Easy, eh?
Absolutely.
Sure.
You done those beers yet?
I mean, he's gone through a pitcher and a half at this point.
Bristol to the bartender. 2 more, eh? For the nice gentleman in the corner.
Well, I'm out of milk, so
Any other question, you guys? Eh?
nope. This was also unhelpful.
But the exact opposite. It is very helpful. We know who didn't do it, eh?
Oh, it was helpful in the regard that now we know. Well, actually, no, this is horrible. I mean, I'm glad we know, but like, I don't know if I wanted to know because now we might have someone siphoning off the. I mean, I'm not going to say that out loud because I was definitely talking out loud for a second. We might, have someone siphoning off the business in the city. And then in my head, I'm like siphoning off the souls of the people. Okay.
I'll use message to send to Penn. I only tell him that to put him on our side more, eh?
I was talking to you in Awakened Mind. You don't have to.
Oh, okay, because you said you spoke out loud, so I assumed you dropped it.
Yeah, I changed it because I didn't want to say the last part out loud. Well, yep. I'd look at the other two and I'm like, I'm good. If everybody else is.
Got a party to get to.
Polished off some more drinks.
So anybody want to go down the hole for 10 minutes?
What's down there?
I don't know. That's why I want to go, eh?
We
A
have
dungeon?
a party.
Okay. I come back tomorrow, eh?
Can't you just send? Well,
I think I make Richard really mad when I tell him it's the 100 Arc down there. It's not, eh? It's
And he's
just a
rigid
dungeon, eh?
like a log. So
Yeah, I put him in a coma, I think. Maybe that joke I go too far, eh?
oh, I thought you were implying you were going to put him in the hole. All right. Well,
Yeah, Richard wakes up at the bottom of a deep, dark hole, and that doesn't do anything to his psyche at all.
surprise.
All of us standing around with like, drow masks on.
All right.
I don't want to get stabbed.
Yeah.
So, we're getting closer to party time, guys.
Well, I need to get changed.
I'm already
Go back to the estate for a few minutes, eh?
Yeah.
Penn, you look like you got something to say, eh?
I'll talk as we're walking out. Is everybody? Are we
We're going back into the cart anyway, right?
So
Yeah,
yeah.
he gives you like an information packet as you go. It's like a pamphlet. It unfolds and it's like what the 12 daggers can do for you, and it's just like clip art and like bullet points.
I'm just gonna just take that and just like, my book just sucks it up like.
It's like motivational poster shit all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't even. Okay. Maybe there's contact info on there. Maybe we'll need it. All right. So as we're walking out, though, I talk to the other two, and I'm just like, I just want to be able to get this shield at some point, and I want to be able to use it. I don't even need to be able to use it in defense per se. I just want to be able to use its properties, which means I guess I wouldn't even have to. We have to get it first.
I still don't understand why you want something you can't use.
Remember when we were at the top of the tower and we were talking about the cannons and the whatnot and the who's it, and I was talking about Morally Gray, and it was getting a little heated, and you mentioned something that you've mentioned a few times about how I don't know what I can and can't raise, and like how I'm too flippant about it, and like how that's not good. And so I thought to myself, okay, let's say for once that Guy's right. And let's just say that maybe I don't know everything I'm doing. Big maybe. And that maybe I should have a contingency in case I ever start going away I don't want to go, or I accidentally bring something up that I don't need brought up and can't make sure it's not. So what better way to ensure that than with an item that specifically nullifies exactly what I want to do?
Well, there's another answer, eh? You don't bring it back in the first place, then you don't have to blast it back to where it came from, eh?
I can't do that. And it's just a very genuine look of just like,
But you told us in your own word, you need to talk to the dead to solve your problem, eh? You don't need to bring them back. You only need to talk to them, eh?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it explains my interest, but it doesn't quench the thirst for knowledge for that type of magic. I still find the undead fascinating.
So it's personal, eh? Not professional interest.
It's a little bit of both. It's apparently important to making sure that my family stays safe and taken care of against the threat that is apparently my uncle, but I also just love necromancy, and theoretically, with enough necromancy, if I learn far enough and study hard enough, eventually I won't have to be as worried about if any of you... And I just kind of trail off. And I just kind of like hop on the cart,
I look at Kithri and say, that little fucker, he cares so much, it make me scared, eh?
As long as he keeps caring.
So you guys start taking the cart back to the guest house so Kithri can get her dress on before the party. And as you guys start to head over, Penn, you receive a ascending in your head. And it says, "But Peniton, we are home." And we're going to take a break right there.
Yep. My, who could have seen anything like this coming? By the way, now I think I do recognize that name, Aaron Tealeaf. Yeah, Yawning Portal. I don't know. It's not important. We'll see what happens after the break. Too Many Warlocks. All right. I hope we all had a chance to process the events of the moment just before. And I sure hope Penn did, because that was a sending spell. And we know how sending spells work on the flip side, right? Too Many Warlocks.
Hello, and welcome back to Too Many Warlocks. When last we left our heroes, they were on the way to get ready for their trip to the fancy party. And Penn got a reply from his oh-so-friendly magical letter that he sent out. And yeah, the reply comes in just like that. And you are pulling up to the guest house. You are now free to move about the cabin.
I don't even know. I guess my response, because I guess it's a time limited thing, is just like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not yourself. I really don't know either, because it's presumptuous for me to say otherwise, but we'll save you. Full stop.
We are just fine. We don't need to be saved.
Man, he's really burning these slots.
Look, he's got slots for days. You don't know.
That means there's more than one. That means you're not you're I know Moldavos is still in there. I know. I've seen things. Full stop. And if you're walking out of the cart right now, you just see me up there like holding my head, gesturing.
Like he's having some kind of attack.
You okay there, buddy?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just fine.
You can't begin to imagine what we are.
And out loud while doing it in sitting, I'm just like, I can imagine what you're gonna be, mister, because you're gonna come home and you're gonna clean up your act. So help me gods.
You said that out loud?
I said that out loud because I'm just that passionate in this moment. It was also in sending, but
Oh shit. Maybe we're not getting to the party tonight. Okay.
Who are
There's
you talking
only-
to?
You know the answer to that. There's only one person he's ever going to say that to. What the flying, thundering fuck are you doing, Penitent, right?
so I learned sending recently. That's cool.
That's not an answer.
I may or may not have.
You did?
Okay, I contacted Blackwind, but
For fuck's sakes.
I told you from the get-go that was the plan. I said I wanted to keep the lines of communication open. This is just the first time I've been able to. I didn't tell him where we are or what we're doing. I'm just trying to convince him that he's not what he thinks he is. You knew this. I never kept this from you. I didn't tell you I was doing it actively per se, but I never told you.
I have a plan, and I am following through on that plan are two very different sentences, eh? You ever heard of a lie by omission?
I mean, I've heard of it.
It means when you don't tell somebody important something, and then when they ask, you go, hey, and don't say nothing, eh? We're supposed to be on the same team, eh? You're talking to the enemy.
Because that's important. Sending's harmless as long as you don't say anything you wouldn't want them to know. It doesn't alert them.
How you know that? You don't know what his ability is? Maybe it's sending, maybe he's in your head.
That wouldn't make sense. We're nowhere near him, theoretically.
If the sending magic make it this far, why not any other magic, eh? You are not talking about a normal person here. He's a being of great evil, of great power.
Maybe just moving forward, give us a heads up.
I intend to continue doing this as often as I can. It's the only way I can get any more information. All our other leads have run dry. I don't have anything else to bring to the other team or to y'all. You've seen the phylactery, you've seen the journal, and I've told you what I found, but from here, the only thing I can do is try to convince whatever little part of him's left to work with us, because what else am I to do? And
What else am I to do? You work with the rest of us and kill this son of a bitch.
That was never...
Your 30 seconds is gone. Gone.
Yeah, maybe that's a little harsh.
I never believed I would get it anyway. I trust and love all three. Well, Richard's asleep, but I still count him, I guess. It's just, I trust all of you, and I trust Team Mom within reason, but I don't believe any of you would ever really agree with me on this. It just, you don't.
Has he given you the slightest indication that maybe you can save him?
I've seen evidence that makes me believe that, yes, he has
That's not an answer to the question I asked.
No, of course not. Why would he, per se? It's like...
So now you want to save someone who don't want to be saved.
I'm trying to remember if we've ever cast Crown of Madness or if we've seen it. I feel like we have. Or was that Team Long? I don't know. Regardless.
I'm pretty sure Kashano has cast it at some
Kashano's got
point
it, but
around
I
you
don't
guys.
know. Yeah.
Either way, we'd probably know about it. And it's like, to me, it's similar to a spell that is put over someone who has no control over the way they feel or think, or it's being manipulated, or it's so flooded with something else that there's no way they can see any light. That's all
It
this
don't work
is.
like that. He chose this. No one did this to him. He picked this. He chose these things.
How do you know that?
It's in the story we heard, eh?
From who?
And no one,
From Corvo,
Yeah.
from everybody at the keep.
but
His
friends
best
didn't
friends
stop
don't
him.
trust him, and you do.
I don't trust him.
You trust him enough to let him into your mind, eh? To invite him into your mind.
Just words. I don't. Yes, words are very important, but I can't do anything else. I can't just sit by while I hear everyone in every letter we get and every conversation we have. I can't let all of this go by without doing anything to try to figure out. Because if I find out that that's the case and he's chosen this path and I know that for a fact, then I'll kill him. And if there's no other option and it would endanger y'all to try to do this, then I'll kill him. But I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill anyone that was ever affiliated with us, especially if there's a chance that it wasn't completely their fault. You know this. You know why I do the things I do.
So what are you going to do when he absorbs you?
Well, we're not going to let that happen.
Yeah,
And I'm just staring at him. You think you're stronger than a shadow dragon? You think you can resist him? You think you're stronger than a lich?
I don't know what I think.
That's what worries me. Believe me, I understand emotion. I understand you react from emotion, eh? But even I am learning sometimes you have to apply the logic, eh? He's past saving Penn. The time for that was long ago. Corvo could not save him, and Corvo is paladin of great power, eh? Cookie could not save him. Spoony could not save him.
We were not there. We don't know
You think
what
they
happened.
didn't try?
I don't know what they did.
They were his friend. Would you try?
Of
If I start to
course.
do crazy thing, would you try to save me?
Of course I would.
Then why are they any different? Of course they tried to save him.
I don't know because half of them are dead.
Because of him. He killed one. The other one, he traded the eternal soul for his own power. There's a sport don't get invented for 1,000 years yet, but this guy's got 3 strikes already, eh?
Look, I can't tell you anything else. All I can tell you is I have to figure this out. I would like help, but I'll do it without help. I can't completely let this go without knowing. Once I know, then I can. But until I know, and I completely know,
How do you know? How can you be sure? Ever.
because there'll be something we'll know. We'll find an answer that either says clearly, because there's not been a point yet that we've seen where someone has said, We weren't there until I.
We watched him try to kill Calazar twice. We rescued Calazar once from his clutches. The other time, Calazar was willing to die to take out Blackwind. Calazar
But he
is willing to die to take out his best friend.
But he didn't kill Calazar. And he didn't kill
Not for
Cookie
lack of
first.
trying, eh? Calazar almost killed himself. He left Blackwind with no power to kill him. You remember just before Calazar set off the bomb? That's exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to convert him.
Yeah.
He was going
Because
to
he
suck
still
him in.
cares. No, he said, "Do you want to become a lich?" I
And
don't
that
remember
to
the
you
name.
is a positive thing?
In this context, yes, because he easily could have just killed him. He is a vital piece of the keep. He's
He don't kill people, Penn. He absorbed them. He wanted Calazar's magic.
Why would he turn him into a lich then?
He didn't. He told him he would. He tried to trick him. He want him to lower his guard, eh?
You will not convince me otherwise with what I've seen, what I've heard, and what
Then I will not trust you otherwise either, right? I can't trust anybody whose mind has been touched by that.
I really thought at this point we'd be a little more past that.
We have
Past
to trust.
what?
We have to trust each other. Otherwise, we'll run into the same issues that the old guard ran into. We have to have each other's backs.
As always, Misty Leaf, you are correct, eh? My passion, it runs away with me, eh?
It's good to have passion.
I don't know about that. He's got passion too.
I just want you to believe in me on this one thing. Nothing else, just this.
I have a condition. You don't
should-
talk to him anymore unless one of us is there, eh?
I can abide by that for the sake of everything.
Let us have your back.
Give that back to us.
Because he's going to stab you in it.
I guess I could wear the shield on my back. And I
Don't
kinda
think
smoke-
turtle position is going to save you from him, eh?
And I just kind of walk up and hug Yi around.
Rigid. Nothing.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. We got a party to go to, eh?
Yep.
All right.
And I cast Mask of Many Faces. I look exactly like normal, except the outfit goes from red to orange to blue. And now the diamonds on every seam and every crease and every buckle and every belt and every ruffle on the collar are those colors. So red and then orange and then blue.
Very nice. So everybody's getting on their finery.
Yep. Fancy dress. Yay!
So, your cart can take you to the event. The event is being held at the Xellos estate. So, you're brought up to. It's on the edge of the mountain range that is kind of enveloped by the castle district. And it's perched on a plateau overlooking the ocean. And there's a long U-shaped kind of driveway where carts are lined up and various people are unloading. And there's an archway in the center, a number of pillars, and a large gateway leading into a rather large, extravagant dining hall. And there are all manner of upper crust people in this place. just gonna bring him out right now. So the party's already kicked off. There's a lot of people here already.
Yeah. Do we get introduced on the way in at all?
It is announced that the Avalon Knights Arcane Association has arrived, and a couple people take notice, but by and large, people are running about the party. There are 2 bars where people are getting drinks at, and there are scattered servants kind of moving about, but everyone is dressed in very fine clothes. There are a couple banquet tables and a couple smaller meeting tables throughout. And then there is a large stage close to the entrance of the room with a large gateway, which you presume is where the presentation will take place.
So is there a head table?
There doesn't appear to be a head table.
And can we see Owen Stone? I mean, I don't think we know what Lord Xellos looks like, but I'm assuming he'd be probably the best dressed dude in the room.
Well, do an investigation check.
Sure. That's better than the one that I rolled before.
You see Owen Stone just kind of systematically moving about the room, almost like he's on patrol. He's just weaving in and out of the crowds, kind of monitoring everything that's going on. But you're having difficulty locating Lord Xellos. You feel that if you ask some people, they might be able to point him out for you.
And is the serving staff wearing uniforms?
They are wearing uniforms. There are 2 or 3 of them scattered about.
So you guys, we mingle, eh? Wait for the presentation?
Yep.
Gather some information? And then you let me know when we're done, because then it's time for Guy to have a little fun, eh?
Sure thing.
All right. You may move about the cabin.
Yeah, I'm just going schmoozing. Just chatting with people, and what I'm really doing is chatting with these people and trying to find the snootiest, most upper crust, most straight-laced people I can find, and I'm just marking their faces.
Okie dokie. There are a bunch of them seated at this table. There are 3 of them. That's where you see the snootiest marks.
Yeah. So I'll head over in that direction and just, I mean, I'm of essentially royal birth. I can fit in here if I have to. Yeah, just, it is unfortunate of the pitiful building we're having to meet in, isn't it?
Oh, I do agree with you. I wish that Lord Xellos would put some of that philanthropy into getting a finer estate.
And this
Certainly.
wine, I've pissed things better than this.
Well, you certainly must have had some very fine wine indeed. This has been quite all right, I find.
Oh, well, there's no accounting for taste.
Well then, sir. And who might you be?
Far too important to introduce myself to you. And I turn my back and walk away.
Oh, goodness. All right. What's everybody else doing?
I want to find somebody that looks fairly intoxicated.
Okay. There is a lady over by the bar. This individual here, who appears that she's drank too much.
I will head over there and well, do you have any idea what this big announcement is going to be about?
Oh, I haven't the foggiest, I'm afraid. He might be announcing some new donation venture that he's going on. But the word around town is that he's partnered up with Stoutbeard Blades on some new venture.
Oh. Why do I recognize that name?
It was on a spear that was thrown at you in the mountains.
Right.
During the
right.
giant wars. Yeah.
Oh, they make quite fine weapons.
Yes, indeed.
Not always the most ethical of companies, though.
No, they do catch quite the reputation in the Dwarven lands. Evidently, they'll sell to anyone, even orcs.
Oh. Oh. Well, I heard an interesting rumor that a group of like wooden and metal folks decimated an entire town. Just innocent town, women, children.
Oh, goodness, how barbaric. Where was this?
It was
Traverse? No.
No, this was way out.
yeah.
This was
I'll just say it was
The
out
Lizard Man
east. I can't remember the town off the top of my head, but
goodness, was it a human village?
horrible. I didn't get all of the details about it, but there were plenty of innocent people just murdered because they were sent to get something, and the town didn't want to give it up, so they just killed everyone.
Oh, goodness, that sounds terrible.
So whatever those metal and wooden people things, I would not want to be associated with them at all. I would
Well,
not trust them.
I don't know much about those, but if they're murdering entire villages, that's certainly something.
And I will get a drink and hand one over.
Okay, glug, glug, glug. Pouring it down. So, Penn, what are you up to?
Speaking of pouring it down, are there wait staff walking around with trays of drinks?
Yeah, there's a couple people running around with trays of drinks and things.
I'm just walking like I'm looking for something, and I grab one and immediately just down it and back on, and I'm not having it.
Okay.
I'm looking for doors. Like, I'm looking for areas that are like maybe a door off to the side or something, anywhere that leads out of this room, because I'm not in the mood to be here.
There are some curtains behind the bars that you assume obscure kind of staff entrances.
All right. Is there?
But beyond that, there's some windows to this direction that overlook the ocean, and then there's the other entranceway on the stage.
Okay. Noticing this, I'm going to immediately cock my hat to the side and kind of loosen my tie and just kind of start to look weird. And I'm going to run over to the bar and be like, I'm going to be sick. Is there a bathroom, restroom? Oh.
Yes, sir, right this way. And he opens up the curtains and lets you through to a rest area.
Okay. I'll go back there and, do stuff from there. I'll pretend to go to the restroom, and then I'm going to try to see if there's somewhere else I can get from there, but...
There is kind of a preparation area, and then there's a restroom area that they can kind of direct you to. And then there are two other doors in that preparation area. There's nobody in there right now.
I'm going to try the two other doors then.
Okay. The one goes into a kind of storage room, like a pantry. And the other one goes into a hallway.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So we're in the hall, and just this, I'm officially kind of trying to recompose myself and, I don't know. I just can't be in that room right now.
Fair enough.
I'm snooping, looking for what I can find, seeing, whatever.
In the hallway, there's a large painting of a black armor-clad individual wielding a ghastly-looking blade. Bring that volume down a little bit.
Sorry, cat stepped on the keyboard. Hold on a second.
And yeah, so the horse is rearing up, and he's got this gnarly sword, and he's clad in black armor, and there appears to be a war going on beneath him. And the title on the bottom of the painting says Xellos the Second.
Is there is it just dark in here? Is there any light or?
There are lit lanterns throughout the hallway.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep poking around until I can't poke around. So whatever. If we need to go back to them, I'm just.
All right. No, it's all right. So, a well-dressed gentleman comes down the hallway towards you as you're looking at this painting.
Do I notice before he's upon me, or is it like?
You notice him coming towards you, but he doesn't appear to have any ill intent or even really to be that surprised that you're there. And he just kind of quietly walks up beside you and looks at the painting with you. He was a monster, but it's important to remember the past, or else we cannot learn from it.
This is quite true. Do I recognize this guy? Is this?
He looks a lot like the guy in the painting.
Oh, I figured. I must say that is
He puts a hand out to you. Xellos the Third.
Oh, and I take off my hat, and I'm like, a pleasure. Penn Wright of the Avalon Knights Arcane Association.
Ah, yes. Owen has told me so much about you.
Yes,
You guys have really come into your own out there.
Yes, we are very, excited, from what we've done thus far, just to be working as a guild again, apparently. I'm relatively new, as you can imagine, but quite the history from what I've heard.
Well, I can only hope that you guys will have the school up and running again soon. It's an excellent institution.
Oh, we truly hope to. I know that, I've drawn my inspiration from Candle Keep. I've only heard good things about the work you've done there, and I must applaud, sir. Education is very important for this nation.
Well, I find expanding minds and preserving the past are some of my favorite hobbies.
Sir, I do believe we are of quite the same mind.
Perhaps we are. So I hear you've had some trouble at the keep as of late. Owen said something about a lich.
Yes, sir, we're doing our best to prepare for this encounter. We have...
Sorry, I'm just seeing people's eyes when you're talking.
We have some information, and much appreciated is the help that you and Owen have offered with these Sunfire pods. We intend to put them to good use. Grisly business, though. No one ever wishes such a thing to have to be dealt with, but it must be.
Well, I don't agree with some of Owen's methods. But I can say he's the best assistant I could ever ask for.
Yes, he does seem very efficient.
He is that.
So, I must ask, what... I don't mean to pry. I'm sure it will all be revealed in good time, but a secret's always fun to have known. What what called everyone here for? Why? What's this big grandeur event all about?
Mr. Wright, you do yourself a disservice. You're no poker player.
This is true.
You of all people have seen what I'm working on.
Ah, I just wanted to verify. I was not sure that it was.
There's no need to be coy, sir. We're all friends here.
And my demeanor changes slightly to a little more serious. I'm just like, what do you intend to do with these beings? It's really my only interest is knowing what your plan is for them, for they seem to be quite, again, efficient, but what's the reason? Are you planning to invade another country, or?
Oh, goodness, nothing like that. That was more my father's bag.
Ah,
I want to create a better world, Penitent. Not a noble task, wouldn't you say?
the noblest of all, I can say.
See, there's no real evil in the world. There are conflicting goals and how we go about them. But people need protection that isn't going to have conflicting goals. That isn't going to turn on them, that's going to remain loyal, and that will not tire. I can think of no better answer. And thanks to my friends at Stoutbeard Blades, these new creations can fill those roles. Certainly you have known people who have been injured or died taking on these kinds of things. What if that became a thing of the past?
I would say my only concern would be if you say you wish to have these implemented for every person, people will always have conflict, and if everyone's outfitted with the same protection or the same defense, as it were, then naturally it would only come to who could afford better protection or who was saying what was the ultimate right, as it were. That would be my only concern.
You certainly have a number of philosophical arguments. I wish to talk to you more about this later. Bring up some good points. But what I'm more interested in, since I have a couple minutes before my presentation, is why have you separated from your group? Something troubling you, Mr. Wright?
I'm a scholar. I apologize. Lord Xellos.
Oh, please. Call me Devin.
Okay, Devin. I'm a scholar. I'm a man of the tome, and I find myself weary in an environment with many voices and raucous sound and drink and merriment. I enjoy the company of others, but it just grows thin. That's really all that's got me bothered.
I've generally been quite bored of this kind of thing myself, but it requires a personal touch. I can't have Owen do everything.
Of course.
I do want to ask you, though, what do you think of Blackwind?
Well, it's interesting that Owen or you would know that name. Have you had interactions with him in the past?
Owen does a good job of keeping abreast of the goings-on throughout the Sword Coast. He had informed me as a potential major threat. But once I heard that your group wasn't involved, it was quite a relief.
Yes, sir. We're doing everything we can. To get.
But he was a man, was he not?
Yes.
Do you think he can be saved?
And I'm looking really intently, not like threateningly, just like very confused. Would there be any check I could do to know if I'm being like
Worked.
well, like with magic? Because
Okay, you can do a check to see if there's any magic going on or anything like that.
all right, Arcana check coming right up. Oof.
There's the second one out of 6 rolls tonight.
No, you wouldn't know any magic going on if it smacked you right in the face right now.
I look at him and I say, I believe that if we don't know the full circumstances of something, then we may not know why any individual does anything. And I believe that some choices have consequences that are unfathomable to any party involved. So I do believe there's always the chance, and I assure you that I am looking into it, for I would want no innocent soul left in a shell.
And he turns and looks at the painting again. Says, I apologize, Penwright. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
No, sir, of course not.
The thought of redemption is a bit of an obsession of mine. When you come from the black roots that I do, it's something that you think about quite often.
Well, I'm always happy to lend an ear, and the Avalon Knights Academy is always happy to lend a hand.
All right. And
Oh,
I'm grateful that you are around.
one last detail.
Of course.
Something that's been bothering me. I don't quite honestly remember when or how, but I do believe someone in my company may have gotten tangled up in some binding contract that may entail a life if not fully carried out correctly. I wasn't even aware your enterprises did such dealings, but as far as I'm aware, it was with your signature.
Kind of smirks a little bit. You are as studious as they say. It's true. I did make a little deal with Kishano. But remember not to tell anyone. I've got some pull in the Black Network, but there's even things that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Okay.
Now then, I've got some last-minute preparations before the presentation is underway.
Of course, sir. I would never want to keep you from your own party. Thank you so much for having all of us.
Absolutely, and
Did you just show him handy when you
I
tipped your
did
hat?
just showed him. He got his nice glove on. He does.
and he like waves when the hat goes. He says, "Do try to join the party. By all means, have some of my food and drink. You won't want to miss the presentation. And Peniton, if you do believe he can be saved, I'll help any way I can."
Thank you. I'll make sure to keep that in mind.
My pleasure. Now then, I do apologize, but I must get back to business, and I'm sorry once again for you constantly having to deal with Owen. I understand he can be a bit rigid.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Thank you.
He means well, certainly. And he walks off. Meanwhile, back at the party.
I would just be kind of going to different groups.
Everybody's shuddering. Ooh, I got a chill just now. Somebody walked over my grave.
Like trying to like ease my way into the conversation, and then like suddenly dropping like, oh, I heard this rumor about these like metal and wooden men that killed all these innocent people, and also like trying to like be like, oh, I wonder if somehow they're responsible for the murders. Any thoughts?
I love what you're doing.
This is brilliant.
But I want you to give me a performance check on how well you see this.
I'm not so great at performance.
And it's part of your backstory. Okay. All right. So, not good, but not great. So. All right. Yeah, so you continue to kind of seed throughout the party. Guy, what are you up to now?
I am sort of schmoozing my way towards the stage. And when I get to about where I've got my token now, I want to start looking for the door or the entrance to the stage.
Okay, it's up on the stage. It's right here.
Perfect. And my basic plan is to get so that I'm as close to the front as I can get so that people behind me can't see my hands.
Okay.
Basically, and I'm waiting until the first robot walks out. Then I've got something I want to do. But until then, I'm just schmoozing.
All right. So, Guy, while you're setting yourself up, Owen comes up to you.
Hey, prick.
Mr. Batomps, good to see you've made it out.
Yeah, no thanks to you, eh?
Were the accommodations not satisfactory?
The accommodations were amazing, but it said Xellos on the building, not stone.
Indeed it did. Is there a problem with that?
No, you just tried to take credit for it, and I don't think it's your doing, eh?
Oh, it is not my doing, but I am a hand of Lord Xellos.
Yeah, you know what hands are good for? Doing this.
Charming.
Not my strongest skill, eh?
Indeed. I just wanted to ask you about the substances you're holding in your hand.
Yes, for sure, eh?
I trust you will be keeping those to yourself.
What fun would that be? How about I make you a deal, eh? You're so sneaky, you see what I'm doing? How about I promise not to put it in your drink, eh?
That is not my concern.
So what are you going to do about it, eh? You going to throw me out in front of all these people? An invited guest who is clearly sober and in control of himself, eh? Because a scene in your boss's house at a party designed for his glorification, and the only thing people remember is you throwing me out?
You are a wily one.
You bring out the best in me, eh?
I will have to adjust my records on you. Very well. Rest assured we will be keeping a close eye.
You watch all you want, eh?
He walks away from you.
And only once he walks away does Guy start to sweat. Like both sides of his face just dripping.
All right. So, Kithri, as you're seeding this about, Eventually, you come across a very well-dressed elven woman wearing this beautiful gown. And she turns to you and she says, Steely.
Yes.
She extends a hand. Laurel Silverhand, Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Always
I recognize you from my chief investigator's description. So, what are you doing here?
we were invited as members of the Avalon Knights. That's what brings us to Waterdeep, but as I have family in the area, I have a concern for hoping to see the end of these horrible murders.
Wouldn't we all? How are they faring?
The murders, I'm sure they're not very
No,
well.
your family, dear.
They are safe. Thank you for
They're
asking.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. The masked lords are very upset about what's going on. Do you have a moment to talk?
Sure.
And she kind of ushers you over to a quiet section of the party. So, how are things going over at the Avalon Knights Academy?
Oh, excellent. We're getting things back up and going, and have helped a number of local communities.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I may have need of your services soon. I cannot go through the usual channels.
Well, I'm sure we would be happy to help.
And then she starts speaking to you telepathically. With a mind, she says, there is a campaign going on behind the scenes to remove me as the Open Lord.
I will reply back and say, well, that is certainly alarming, and if there's anything that we can do to assist with that, let me know.
I will be reaching out to your organization for assistance in the future, because I cannot garner assistance from within the city. It goes too far. You understand, of course.
Of course.
I trust you can keep this confidential.
Certainly. As long as it's fine if I fill in the rest of my associates.
Of course, keep it within your organization. We go back a long way, and if you require any assistance in reclaiming the old Academy estate within the city, perhaps an arrangement could be made.
Well, that certainly would be very nice.
Do be careful. Not everyone is as they seem out here. As if you've lived here, I'm sure you know.
I've had a number of interactions with two-faced individuals.
Yes. Now then, big smiles. We have to appear to enjoy the party. She kind of departs and continues. Penn, do you make it back out, or are you gonna linger in the halls?
I was muted. Sorry.
Yep.
I would have made my way back when he worked his way out,
Okay,
just because I want to see the presentation.
of course. So you come out just in time to see Guy get menaced by Owen Stone a little bit and walk away.
Oh, I didn't walk away.
Oh, well, no, Owen Stone walks
no.
away.
He
Owen
walked away
Stone
from
walks
me.
away. So what are you going to do with that?
I mean, a lot just happened in multiple places. I guess after seeing that, I'm just gonna shake it off and just kind of watch the stage. I'm not interested right now.
All right. Good. All right. Eventually, everything quiets down, and the announcement is made that it's time for the presentation to begin. And Owen Stone, in a finely tailored suit, with a red tie, comes out. Says, "My guests, thank you so much for joining me at my estate. I know times have been tough in our fair city recently, but thanks to my recent partnership with Stout Beard Blades, I believe I am coming to a solution."
This is Lord Xellos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said Owen Stone. Sorry.
Sorry, I mean, Lord Xellos comes out and he's well dressed and he's doing his presentation. He says, "I've never been one for long, wordy speeches. So without further ado, I present to you the Iron Party."
The second the first one walks through the door, I cast a spell magic on it.
Okay. All right.
So if it's any magic that's keeping it running at 3rd level or lower, it's gone. Anything else I need to roll if it is magical at all.
You're going to need to roll.
Okay. That is a charisma check versus 10 plus the spell level. Oh, come on now. So anything level 8 or lower stops.
Okay. It seizes up a little bit, but then keeps walking.
That's all I needed. It stumbled.
Yeah, it stumbled a little bit, and then it keeps
Its
going.
first public appearance was a stumble. That's all I was going for.
And eventually all 4 of them kind of come out. It says, "These beings can act as protection, as outward forces. They can do the job that we would normally request of any adventuring party.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they can do so effectively and efficiently. They have been tested in the field, and while these are only our first prototypes, we will be able to roll into full-scale production of these beings within 2 months' time. And we will be distributing them to anyone in Waterdeep who wishes to gain the benefits of their protection. And I don't want to tip my hand too much, but I do dream of a day where perhaps these can take over protection of our fair city. What do you think, Miss Silverhand? Would you allow my creations to take over for your city watch?" And
I
there's
want-
kind of an ooh that goes over the crowd.
I want to, using Awakened Mind, say to Lady Silverhand, I have seen these things murder innocent people.
She says, that's not the way it works, Xellos. You know this. But if you do the proper proposals, we will put it through to a vote. And Xellos at the top. A politician's answer, as always. I kid, of course. But folks, I dream of a future where we will no longer need to shed blood. Where innocent men and women will no longer have to die in fields and caves and crypts. And where we can feel safe in our homes, protected by these creatures of our own control and design. The future is now, and Xellos Enterprises will bring it to you. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. My creations will be milling about. And he walks off the stage to go get a drink, and he's mobbed by various people.
That was the hardest 15 seconds of silence I've ever done in my life. Oh, Jesus, that was difficult.
They're milling about?
Yeah, the creations are moving about and interacting with people.
Yeah, exactly, chat. You got it in one. So yeah, I want to start milling around with people and just asking this question over and over again. I wonder who they're beholden to. I wonder who they're beholden to. He made them. I wonder if they're beholden to him.
I want to go up to one and try to interact with it as well.
Very well. So the four that were up there, one is dressed like a cleric, one is dressed like a fighter, one is dressed like a rogue, and another one is dressed like a wizard. Which one are you guys choosing?
Which one did I zap on the way in?
The one that you zapped on the way in was the cleric.
That's the one I was going to go to anyway, just because.
You could both go up to
Oh no, I'm not. No, I've got another plan.
Okay.
Oh. I just want to look at it and, like, does it speak to you? Is it?
Well, it is moving about. People are asking it questions. It's answering.
And I look at it when I walk up, and I whenever I get in a question, I'm like, can you open your inner workings? I'm curious to see how you operate.
And it looks at you, kind of tilts its head slightly. It says, Penitent Right, Avalon Knights Arcane Association. It is a pleasure to meet you. The contents of my chassis are the property of Xellos Enterprises, and as such cannot be revealed until the current rollout is complete.
Well, that's disappointing.
I
really-
apologize.
Hmm.
Please accept this blessing. And you are blessed. You have a D6 bonus. on your next
Get that off of me. I did not consent. What even? I'm so upset for such a thing.
Ah!
How are you even a cleric? That doesn't. What god do you worship?
Gone. The
Yes.
Machine Lord.
Don't bless me again. And I storm off.
My apologies, Mr. Wright.
Ugh.
Got that holy juice all over me.
Clerics. They're so.
So I assume they're they're a bit distracting. Like everybody's looking at the four of them as they walk around.
Oh, a lot. The people are fawning over them. People are, they're checking them out. There is a little bit of people kind of keeping their distance, kind of muttering to each other, perhaps from some rumors that have been spread around.
So I just want to quickly duck down like I'm tying my shoes behind a table, even though there's boots on my shoes, never mind.
Yeah.
And when I stand back up, I've cast the Mask of Many Faces again, and I look like one of the servers.
Okay.
And I pick up a tray of, I'm assuming there's probably trays of wine or something somewhere.
At the bar.
Yeah, over to the bar and just pick it up like I work here. And I want to attempt, I mean, I don't care if Owen Stone sees me because he's watching me anyway, and I ain't going to sneak nothing past those glasses. But I am quite blatantly putting 2 drops in a bunch of the drinks, and the 2 closest to me, I put 4 in one and 6 in the other.
Okay.
And I start at this wonderful table.
All right.
Started the night.
He lets you. Owen Stone watches you very intently, and he watches you distribute the drinks to that table.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks up to you, stops you there, grabs each drink, and drinks it down. That's left on your tray.
Okay, so that's about 20 drops worth of the hallucinogenic drugs into him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess, that's not going to do nothing to you, eh?
What do you think?
I think it's going to do some very funny things to those 3.
Yes. But that's fine.
You know, you got less sense of humor than that goddamn metal man over there.
I have been told.
You know what else you got?
What is that?
No fucking chance. You have a nice night, Mr. Stone. I am leaving.
You have a nice night as
And
well.
right in front of him, I switch back to Guy and just out the door.
Well. Owen
Sorry, guys.
Stone-
Are you
pissed
so
me off.
convinced we're not on the same side, Mr. Batomps?
Just give him the finger over my shoulder as I walk out.
While Guy is talking to Owen Stone, I want to walk behind the fighter one and subtly cast Prestidigitation
Okay.
to make sparks start coming out of him.
All right.
Oh, at least one of us is thinking logically.
Guy's having a fucking pissing contest with Owen Stone, and Penn is wrecked. It's like Kithri's on a fucking espionage campaign. I love that you're so good at this. All right, so you do that, and everybody just says, "Oh!" and steps back as these sparks begin to fly out, and the creature kind of looks around itself. It's just like, my apologies. I did not mean to startle anyone. And everybody's just kind of looking, watching.
Oh, I guess, and I'll like lean over to somebody nearby and go, I guess Xellos still has quite a bit of work to do before they're gonna be fully operational. I wouldn't trust that thing.
Yes, maybe we should wait for the Model 2s. All right. Does anybody else want to do anything else at the party? Owen Stone is continuing to mill about after his confrontation with Guy, and Lord Xellos is still moving about.
Do I have any drops left?
I think you've got like 2 or 3 because you used quite a bit on that tray.
2 left? Okay. I put them in my flask
Oh,
and have a drink.
all right.
Just walk across the street and lean up against a wall and wait for fun stuff to start happening.
Fair enough. Kithri, before things wrap up, Lord Xellos approaches you.
I will, like, do the like kind of bow curtsy thing.
Miss Tealeaf, how are you enjoying the party?
It's very interesting.
Yes, never been much for these kinds of affairs, as I was telling Penn in the hallway just a little while ago. But I can't let Owen do everything. I occasionally am required for a personal touch.
Ah, so is are these mostly your personal touch or Owen's?
Primarily mine. Owen simply handles the paperwork, field work, and that kind of thing. The plans all come from my table.
Ah. No, I could have sworn that I've seen something like this, but a far superior model before.
Really?
Can't quite remember where it was. There's something about them that seems familiar.
Well, we all can't have the luxuries that are afforded to those who are affiliated with the Avalon Knights.
I suppose so. I suppose, maybe it might be better just to let individuals that can think for themselves and act on their own protect people than machines that, might be well-intentioned, but machines do mess up. Don't have that wonderful human quality to it. Thinking on their feet.
Perhaps you're right, Miss Tealeaf. I will take those designs into account when I make the final product. Perhaps you'd like to advise on the project. I'm certain you have insights.
Well, I don't know if you can afford my rates.
I think I like you. So, I take it you don't like my creations?
I think they have some serious flaws to them.
Perhaps. But we never move forward if we always stand still. Always takes that first step, doesn't it?
Just have to make sure you're taking a step in the right direction.
I guess we will find out. If you like, additional protection can be provided to your family within the city. I understand you must be concerned.
Oh, that won't be necessary.
Are you certain?
I'm taking care of it.
Very well. I don't want anything bad to happen.
I also don't.
I consider your organization a close friend. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope that perhaps the next line can be to your satisfaction.
I will look forward to seeing it.
Very well. Enjoy the rest of the party.
You too. I hope it is a success.
All right. He continues to move about. This guy. So the party begins to wind down. So we're almost out of time. And Lord Xellos finds a quiet place, and he is approached by two other noblemen and Owen Stone. So what did you think? There is potential in it, certainly, Mr. Xellos. But of course, if we are to bring this to the House of Lords, you will require some support. I understand that. Owen and I have been working diligently. This is my first foray into politics. But I trust that we can work something out. Perhaps we may. Lord Xellos, perhaps we may. And the men shake hands as they come to an agreement. And the party begins to wind down and come to a close for the night. And we will end there.
Yeah. All right. Oh my God. I you know I love these warlocks, but I'm questioning my
you
own.
don't.
You know, perhaps they'd be a little more effective if they were split up, but they're not. They're too many warlocks.
So thank you so much for everybody for joining us today. Thank you for watching another episode of Too Many Warlocks. I am a very lucky dungeon master in that I am joined by all these wonderful people who are content creators in their own right. And I like to take this moment at the end of the show to let everyone talk about the things that they are doing, give a little plug on the show. So please, by all means, I open up to the floor.
And the floor stares at you silently, apparently.
All right. Guy, you got a new video came out today. Talk about it.
I did. I did one on, and as that says in the description, it is going to appear to be a heresy to a number of people.
I did call you a witch.
You did call me a witch, and accurately so. I actually had the temerity to suggest that in role-playing games, we should roll less dice and do more describing.
I certainly don't know anything about that.
So yeah, I mean, the short version is don't roll unless there's a chance of success or failure. What I basically was talking about, you know, that bard, the standard bard story, right, where he breaks into the castle, gets caught in front of the king's chambers, rolls a 20 and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't happen if you don't let him roll.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, that's out. Go watch that. It's on Dirty 20 Gaming. But the 27th, 2 weeks from now, we're doing a big event here, but I'm going to have to leave partway through because I'm part of another event, Praetor's Rejects. They've gathered a group of people all from different streaming sites, all streaming D&D, and they're going to sit us all down at the table with a dungeon master none of us have ever played with before, who apparently has a habit of TPKing parties. And we're going to see if we can get through 4 weeks to Halloween in a series of adventures called The Haunt 1, 2, and 3.
So it might be
We'll have more details
series,
about that as we get a little closer. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how many weeks we survive.
Excellent. And Kithri, what's going on with Roll for Initiative?
The last video that came out was all about lines and veils, a great tool that you can use in like a session 0 or if you're doing a convention game.
I like that. I've never heard of that. So I watched the video and I was like,
Brilliant.
oh.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
It was very helpful to gauge what all of your players and game master are comfortable with including at your table. And then tomorrow's video coming out first thing in the morning, we are reviewing Terror Below, which is a board game.
That sounds terrifying. All right. And
think Tremors, the board game.
Oh, I love Tremors.
Oh,
I want to do a Tremors episode. Okay, I can't talk about that.
Oh, talk to Ryan.
We kind of did one, but we did. Okay.
top 10 movies of all time. No question.
Penn, what's going on?
Little old me. I've been working behind the scenes here, so
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna say if you want to see more of me, go to Noctum Sky on YouTube, link down there. But actually,
Rich, did you not edit the video that we saw in the break?
I did edit the video. I didn't do the graphics. That was our producer. Thank you.
Okay.
But as far as the video you saw in the break, I did the editing on that, and I do that for our YouTube stuff. But what I was going to tell you also is if you're interested in the Clockwork game, which you should be, that will be coming on the channel on October 3rd. Anybody jump in if I'm wrong, but it's October 3rd is when we'll be starting that with Zeke as the DM running. I want to say 4 sessions of that every other week, but again, definitely October 3rd. I know that.
Oh, yes. And we'll be starting that up on October 3rd every other week. It's going to be amazing. Be sure to tune in for that. And we've got other stuff coming down the pipes. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because we'll have Poison Paradise going on with our very own Guy game mastering that game. And if you haven't got enough Penn, you get to be Penn the Cowboy, also known as Jet, showing up tomorrow for that.
Yeah, we're beating the hell out of them there too.
And, We
Yeah.
upgraded Lucius's camera, so it's going to be nicer.
Oh, excellent. Good,
So
good stuff.
and so definitely check out that. Be sure to follow us. Check us out in all the social media and everything. Keep up with everything going on Mercs of Mischief. Check out the replays. If you missed any episodes, you can always catch up on it then. And
Thank you to our benevolent dungeon master up there in the corner.
who, me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, for sure. You. This doesn't happen without you. This was an amazing session, and I think I can safely speak on behalf of the others here and say thank you for yet another amazing session.
My pleasure, everybody. And until next week, class dismissed.
Eaten by a big black dragon, a barbarian, frenzied and fearless. He cried forth his battle cry. Our sorcerer ne'er did cease casting his spells. I watched them both suffer and die. 'Twas over in less than a minute, 10 rounds by acid